Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Enduring Research. Basically, our channel is established for the sharing and gaining of knowledge of mechanical specialization, auto and diesel, and mechatronics. Then further we can discuss in different fields and further making detail of to gain and share their knowledge. The topic of today video or today session is introduction to automobile. In this session we cover different topics of automobiles. In the beginning of this topic, the definition of automobile, what is automobile, introducing the automobile, how the introducing history of automobiles, which from start, construction of automobiles, how they construct automobile, under the hood, how can we inspect different, what is the under the hood of the automobile, identifying the drive wheels and the source of power. Today we are discussing these topics in this session. Defining the automobile. In the beginning, the definition of automobile is a self-propelled vehicle that travel on land. It is usually has four wheels. An engine provides the power to move vehicles. The automobile or a car carries people primarily for personal transportation. There are many different styles of car. Some people prefer the sport car. Which contain only two seats and limited luggage space, and it is expensive than other cars, but body styling and other outstanding performance. Most people, a sport car is not best for family vehicle, which can familiarly known, and it can contain parents with young children with addition of space and seating inside the vehicle. A small van may fill their need. It may serve as a car. Often it is similar in construction. Regarding to the style, the automobile is a type of motor vehicle. This name is given to any self-propelled vehicle that does not run or rail. There are two other types of motor transport, goods or cargo. A bus motor vehicle that may carry may passengers, and a motor vehicle also called an automobile vehicle. Then we discussing about introduction or introducing the automobile. In the introducing the automobile, in the beginning, we can start from the history. In the history, the automobile has been around more than 100 years. The first automobile was basically the horse-drawn buggies, as shown in figure. The carriages powered by the gasoline fuel engine instead of horse. They were called as a gas buggies or horse-less car. The early engine had one cylinder that could produce only 1 or 2 horsepower. Basically, horsepower is roughly the power of 1 horse. Then when further we can discuss what is horsepower in the coming soon videos. The first automobile was established in Germany in 1885 and 1886. It has 3 wheels, one in the front and one in the front and 2 in the rear. That year, another vehicle obtained or established, mounted in an engine in the wooden bicycle. The next year also built a 4-wheel gas buggy. So further, in 1893, automobiles are built in USA, United States. By 1895, other building cars in the country of the USA. Then 1896, the early car was crudely compared to the today car, but ran the most of the time. By 90s, several factories in making automobiles. Most manufacturers was building cars kept getting bigger and the more expensive. For example, Ford, Model T Ford manufactured the first modern assembly line and the next 20 years the 15 billion Model T Ford were sold. Today, automobile industry is the one of the biggest in the world in United States and other countries. But about 12 more than 12 million people are working in these type of industries and related the business. This is the one out of the 7 workers. The job of the most people these are one woman to service the automobile vehicle and kept them running. In the further we discuss about the construction of the automobiles. In automobiles about 50,000 separate parts are put together to make an automobile. These parts are grouped into several systems. Each system is made up of two or more parts that work together to perform a specific job. For example, braking system, steering system. An automobile produces in a large variety of sizes and shapes. All have some basic systems parts. Today, many of these systems are controlled electronically, or more electronic control, which is ECU, ECM. Basically, ECU or ECM is called computer. Is a type of a computer. Different processors are working in there to control there with the help of sensors or different actuators. Then further, we discuss what is sensor, what is ECU, and whatever all. The basic part and the system in automobiles are the major component. These included an engine, a powertrain, a suspension system, a steering system, a braking system, electrical system, and a body. An engine is a power plant of a vehicle, of a car, of automobiles, which that produces power to move the vehicle, and powertrain to carry the power from engine to driven wheels. And the suspension system absorbs the shocks of the tire and wheels, meeting bumps and holes in the road. In the steering system, the driver can control the direction of a vehicle to travel. Braking system contains the driver to can slow and stop the vehicle. And electrical system to provide electricity from crank the engine, charging the battery, powering the light and other electrical equipment. A body in the body it provides an shore and compartment for the engine, passenger, and luggage or cargo. And what our cover in the next topic, what is under the hood. The engine compartment is usually at the front of the vehicle. In modern vehicle, never in Foxy car. In Foxy car, the engine compartment is in the rear side of the vehicle. When you raise the hood, you can see the engine and some parts attached to it. These may include air conditioning, compressor, alternator, power steering pump, starting motor, supercharger or turbocharger. Other parts such as battery. You can see here the battery, air filter. This is the internal combustion engine, or these are connected to the electrical wiring and hoses or tubing, as shown as you see in the figure. In the car, the engine mounted either a long way or a side way. An engine mounted long way has a longitudinal mounting. The transmission attaches to the rear of the engine. The long drive shaft connected to the transmission through the rear driven axle and differential and to the rear wheels. In this beginning, we're gonna discuss about the what is differential, what is transmission system. In the basically making the some the main or the some main points to the viewers to know about what to know or to understand the introduction of automobiles. An Indian in modern sine wave data transfer mounting. With this arrangement, the car is more compatible. And the engine compartment requires the less space. Instead of transmission, transaxle attaches to one end of the engine. The transaxle combine the transmission and the many part of the rear drive axle into a single assembly. Short axle shaft or a half axle shaft connected to the transaxle from the front wheel. And the next is to identify the driven wheels. The way engine mount usually tells you which wheels are driven wheels. These are the wheels that move the car. In the engine mounting longitudinally, the car usually has a rear wheel drive. RWD is mainly written or the rear wheel bar is shown. Engine power flow through the transmission and driven shaft to the rear wheel. However, some rear wheel drive may also driven the front wheels. These vehicles usually have a transfer case. It can send or transfer some of the engine power to the front wheel. This is called the four-wheel drive 4WD or all-wheel drive AWD. In the engine mounting transferly at the front of the vehicle has a front wheel drive. Engine power flows through the transaxle to the front wheels to get the four wheel driven drive. The rear wheel can also driven. In the next, the source power. An automobile engine is an internal combustion engine. Internal means inside, combustion means burning. Power is produced by burning a mixture of air and fuel inside a cylinder in the engine. The most automobiles engine have 4, 6 or 8 cylinders. Each cylinder is like a tin can in which a round piston side up and down. This movement is carried through gears and shafts to rotate the wheels and move the car. Later we can explain how this is working and to continue the running and the engine and the must have 4 support system. These are fuel, ignition, lubrication and cooling system. Thanks for watching. In the next coming video we can discuss the working their fuel system, supporting the operation system in the ignition system, lubrication system and cooling system and different getting power to the wheels or the power train, the clutch and the further in the next coming video. These are coming soon. Thanks for watching.